clink, 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 clink.
Oh, you supposed to say. Welcome to the Teacherz Lounge.
Let us see.
Let's see.
On a Tuesday.
Turn up Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. I had me some tacos
Oh, I
earlier.
didn't have any tacos. I had Panda Express. A honey walnut shrimp.
That sounds
banging. I will pay the extra $1.95.
That sounds boring. On a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
Well, you guys, welcome,
I thought we were gonna
welcome,
hit the
welcome. What beat?
On a Tuesday.
Got the club going up. It don't go that fast though.
Okay,
On
never
a
mind.
Tuesday. No, I don't remember the word.
All right, so sorry. What we should be talking about is adult ADHD.
Yes,
Or maybe
because
adult
she has
ADHD.
adult ADHD.
I really do, and I don't think that was on our list of topics, but
Was it?
I self-diagnosed. Yes, I have.
She probably been watching those TikTok videos.
No, prior to that, I knew something was wrong with me.
Being self-aware, ladies and gentlemen.
I knew something. I would have all
thing
these
to have.
stickies on my desk, just scattered, and I would have names and phone numbers. The names didn't match the phone number. The phone number didn't match the name. I was just, and I felt like I wasn't getting nothing accomplished. And now that I'm more aware, I can try to navigate the day better than what I was in the past.
We're happy for her.
Wow, I felt a little sarcastic.
It wasn't sarcastic at all.
I mean, get friends, they say. Wow, you just gonna laugh at my pain?
I was
No, I felt like that was a laugh at. I
that
just poured my whole heart out. Oh my!
was a cheer.
Okay, go ahead.
We weren't laughing. This is laughter.
You're pressed.
I
I got grandma nails, and she got these long nails. Show them your nails.
They need to be done.
And just for the record, we not corny or anything, because this was not planned. The colors, we just happen to be
wasn't.
matching, but we just in sync like that. That's how we are. Okay, what's up? What's up? What's the topic for today?
Okay, well, on this terrific Taco Tuesday, we're going to keep it with the letter T. We're going to talk about trauma, but the educational side of trauma, okay? We'll try not to, make nobody cry. You might have to fold your tissue up like Candace from the Real Housewives of Potomac.
I should get me a tissue.
That is the most iconic Kleenex fold I've ever seen. Okay.
I happen to have one right here. I don't think this is good filming, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Oh, ain't this? You can't read that.
Might be water, might be wine.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that how she does it?
Get ready. Yes. Yes, the iconic Candace tissue dab. That's what we're gonna call that. All right. But we're going to talk about educational trauma today and just some of the trauma that we experience as educators. We live in a world where school shootings, mass shootings are things that we actually have to prepare ourselves for. Never in my life would I thought that I would be doing an active shooter drill or a lockdown drill
Once a month.
and I actually had to experience that myself this school year. There was a shooting on the backside of our school, which was literally by my classroom. I heard the gunshots, and I had to tell my staff and my students to duck, to get down. And it was very hard. It was definitely a traumatic experience because I really didn't get a chance to really process it until later on throughout the day, actually during my planning period when I was by myself at my desk. And one of the staff members that came and asked me something, and I started to tear up, and I was just like, I'm sorry. And they were like, no, it's okay. But it was a very traumatic experience because that one time, no matter how much training, how many drills we do, how many practices we do, you're just not prepared to be in that exact moment. And when I finally got a chance to process it, I really sat at my desk and I was like, I really had to tell my staff and my students to duck. And the fear that I saw on my students' face at the time is something that will stick with me for the rest of my life. And that is something that as educators that we have to keep in the back of our mind. And now I think actually going through that, I have even found myself when I'm out and about always looking for exits. Even in the gym now, I'm like, dang, maybe I should carry my keys with me just in case I gotta make a brisk run out the building or something like that. So that's something that really is stuck with me.
I think the hard part is when you experience those types of events and they're becoming more frequent. And I don't believe anyone is exempt, any particular school, any particular school district, as we have seen. You're just in that moment and you're just reacting. And then once it's all over, at that day, it was like, okay, time for third period. The bell rings, like as if it didn't happen. And so you have to take a moment, like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to go through this lesson plan. And then when you actually pause and it's quiet, which is rare, you're like, wait a minute, what just happened? Then you think, oh my gosh, what if something actually happened to one of them? Right. Wait a minute, I'm just a teacher. I'm just a regular Shayla. I'm just a regular Nitra. And what if, was I supposed to make sure that they were okay? Like, should I have, like, just all these things.
I think also because with that, it's a processing, not only just for us as adults, but the kids. And I think in that moment, the way that, to me, just admin, everybody handled it, I think it should have been done a little bit better because I ended up actually processing it with my students. Because even though I heard it, it was other kids that heard it, it was other staff members that actually heard it, but we were carrying on our day like this just didn't happen an hour or 2 hours ago. And
it becomes the norm.
Right. And it's literally like we have become desensitized to these mass shootings, these school shootings. I remember the very first one, which was the Columbine High School one. I think I was in elementary school.
I was not. I was a working woman.
Okay.
I stopped by 7-Eleven to get my coffee.
There goes the age here.
I stopped by 7-Eleven to get my morning coffee and grabbed the newspaper because we used to grab newspaper. We used to read the newspaper. And I'm like, what? On the front cover, the Columbine. It was like, what in the world? But now it's just like, wow, this happened again. It just happened. So what is it going to take? And that's just a really hot topic, a debatable topic on gun control laws. And but I do believe that it's unfair for educators to put us in that position where we're expected to protect someone else's life. And I'm a mother. I have parents. My parents are still living. I got a niece. I got nephews. Like, how do you put someone else's life
in
front of your own family and your it's strange. It's a strange position.
It's a hard place to be in because at the end of the day, like you said, you have family that is expecting to see you walk through the door after work. So,
and do I love my job enough to not let that happen?
And that's the thing. And that's really what puts, as an educator, and I'm pretty sure there are other educators that really feel this way, it puts us in a weird position because it's like, I'm supposed to protect these kids, but then in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about all my friends, all my family, everybody else who wants me to go home to them or make sure I'm okay. And so these are things that we experience as people that work in education on a day-to-day basis, because if something was to really happen, like, I don't care, like I said, I don't care how much training you have, you're not prepared for that. Like,
but we're teachers, right? Like,
what are you supposed to
we're supposed to teach them how to read and write, like, not how to duck and dive.
Right. and that's
tell me that in college, like, it's just and then someone make you feel guilty for questioning these things. Like, why can I question my livelihood? And is it really worth it at the end of the day?
And we should be able to question it. And I think because people have to, I think they can't separate the career from being a human. And it's just like, yes, this is our career, this is our livelihood. Yeah, we love the kids, but we love ourselves too.
Yeah.
We want to survive.
We love the kids, but I love me, and I love my own children.
You know, I don't have none of those, but, you know, I love my friends, my family, you know, everything else. So it's just, these are things that we face as educators. And I'm just talking about anybody that works in a school building, period. Not just the teachers, but admin, techs, whoever is in that building with them kids, from the time they get there, from the time they leave, we all are responsible for them. But in that sense, it's like, do we come off being selfish because we want to put ourselves first, or we are thinking about ourselves in a sense of not only trying to protect them, but it's like, I want to protect myself too. And honestly, even during these drills, the kids don't take it seriously.
They're
at
not.
all. And that is a struggle.
And so when that happened, that incident, it was like, wait a minute. Is that what I think it is? Like,
literally,
oh my God, like, this is real. This is not a drill, y'all.
It was like, hold on. Did y'all hear it? And I'm like, yeah. And I looked. So we have blinds. Our blinds just so happened to be down. But I like looked and I saw the guys running. And I literally was like, y'all get down. And we got down. And then I'm like, but I didn't even get all the way down. Like, I was on one knee up, one knee down. I'm still peeking out the window to see what's going on. So it's just like, and that was the first time that I actually could see that my student was like really scared. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, this is really something going on. But when we have those drills on a regular day, they laughing, giggling, and I'm just like, y'all take this seriously, because
I had an incident where this is before, so about over a year ago, and there was an active shooter in the vicinity, and it was at dismissal, and I happened to be making sure the kids are getting on the bus, and I'm like, oh my God, y'all get down. And I was like, wait a minute, if I can get stuck, and this is in the neighborhood, so it's like, what if they came to the bus, but my human nature kicked in. It was like, okay, just everybody get down. Like, we just looking. I'm telling the driver, like, everybody stay calm, close the door. I remember it was at dismissal. So then you had kids trying to come back into the building. And technically, once you're gone, you should not because we don't know who may be the active shooter. Like, so it's just so you see kids sitting out there that you know, like, wait a minute, do I let them in the building? I'm not
but that's another thing. Your natural instinct kicks in. So it's like in that moment, your adrenaline is rushing. So now it's like, all right, I'm trying to save everybody. I'm trying to keep people from being hurt.
And after that, I went in the building and was like, okay, let me just send this last email before I go home.
Right.
Like,
and it's like, okay.
So then when I get in my car, that's when it all, like, the day just kind of flood. I could drive for an hour with no radio, no music, and it's just all like, what just happened? Okay, how am I supposed to feel? Wait a minute, I think I want to cry. Am I supposed to cry? Should I feel?
But and that's the thing.
It's a lot.
You feel so many different emotions within processing things, and I think that's something that people also don't think about, especially when it comes to people that are in education. Like, shout out to anybody that is married to anybody in education, dating anybody in education, because y'all know we vent like no other, and y'all really are some strong people, because y'all listening to this stuff every single day. But it's just the way to process, and I think that has helped me, honestly. At just about every day after school, I'll FaceTime my brother.
That sure it is.
And that's it. Okay? Wine stays in the house.
Too.
Yes. But I'll FaceTime my brother. I'll process my day and, talk about it, and then just go from there. But it also helps. But
So like that's a good question to ask. Like how do we decompress? So my husband laughs at me because I watch nonsense TV. So I watch some reality shows.
Yes.
Because I don't want to think. I want something that does not require me to think. It requires me like, what? What did you just say? Something to make me laugh. Like I'll watch Country Wayne on YouTube all day long, like in the pockets of my day. So that helps me kind of unwind, and wine, no pun intended. A long bath, hot shower.
The gym for me.
Target. I love Target.
Yes.
When I walk into Target, it's like the birds are chirping.
Because Target tells you what you need. You don't
have a love-hate relationship with Target.
Target be like, no, you need this.
That red ticket gets me every time. So those are little small things, and I love food. I love to bake. So baking is like a decompressor for me. I like to create, and then I'll make a whole pound cake and eat 2 slices. Well, maybe half the cake, but
and then bring it to work and be trying to put it in myself. Those of us who
and she don't turn it down.
I don't.
She don't turn it down.
But I'm about to get better because I got to get back and
me too. My birthday coming out.
I get back on.
My birthday tomorrow.
She's lying. Even though it's the beginning.
March 14th. Get ready.
It's the beginning of Pisces season, but it's But yeah, like for me, the gym is a very big decompressor. I love music. Anybody who knows me, most of the time I'm always playing music in my classroom. I don't like complete silence. It's weird. But yeah,
that's crazy because I don't mind.
I don't. The first time that I actually would really sit in silence was I worked at a school that we have really severe kids. Most of them were nonverbal, and they would literally holler and scream all day long. And that was the first job where I would really come home and I would sit in complete silence for like 30 minutes. No TV, no phone. I literally would just sit on the edge of my bed and I was just like, oh my God, it's quiet.
So most of my career has been spent with older teenagers, high school, like 13 through 22. So being in a middle school has been a major transition for me, and all you hear is yelling all day long. Like, to the point I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to talk to nobody. Just give me a moment to just, like, hear nothing. But it's constant. Stop. Get up. Let go. Why? Why would you do that? What are you thinking about? And so we talked about one segment. We talked about how our kids smell, and it's like nothing against the kids, but something against the kids. It's middle school. If you walk into any middle school kids just smell. It's just that's that gray area, and they think it's funny, so they're not even interested in hygiene.
It's not for the weak.
It's not.
And the faint-hearted.
They become interested in hygiene more around 8th grade, I think.
But I don't.
But that 6th and 7th grade is terrible.
It's.
And they think it's so funny. Like, it's not even, it's no talking to them.
I think
it's universal.
I have worked from kindergarten all the way up to the age of 22. I've only worked in SPED for the most part. If I've done anything in gen ed, it's usually like an after school program or something like that. I will say that middle school has probably been, outside of working with the severely like nonverbal kids, I think this is like right neck and neck with. It's tough because they don't know if they want to be babies or they want to be adults. And it's just like I literally spend all day like, why would you do that? Don't do that. Like things like that. And
then you realize they really are age appropriate. So I can only be but so mad because like I really think they're age appropriate.
Yeah.
Like,
and then it's
they're
like,
really being normal, but it's like, oh my, it's just exhausting.
Coming from high school.
It's hard.
To middle school, it's hard because
tough transition.
You cannot. There are conversations or the way that you can speak to a high schooler. You can't do that with the middle schooler. So it's like not necessarily dumbing yourself down, but it's more so
age appropriate.
Yeah, changing the conversation.
Like the analogy you'll use, and also middle school with relationships. Like they just I don't know what they are.
I had more boyfriends or girlfriends than I had in my lifetime.
And so like a conversation I would have with an 11th grader or a 10th grader is completely different. It's the same conversation, but it's just how I express it to them to get them to understand.
Right.
And then in that 1 minute they understand, and the next minute it just goes right out the window. It's just so dramatic. Everything's so dramatic.
It really is. Like, these middle school is just it's a different breed. It
I
really
get a
is.
kick out of the girls coming in clear face, and then by second period, eyeshadow. I'm like, I know your mama didn't let you wear that.
Mascara, stomach out.
Oh, the crop tops. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm jealous or I'm mad that they showing me something. I wish I
No,
could wear a
because the
crop
way
top.
some of them girls dress is how I would dress outside of work. I wouldn't come to school like that.
Well, my mama wouldn't let me come to
that
school
part.
like that. I couldn't go anywhere like that.
I was a tomboy in middle school, so.
I may have one crop. Maybe
No.
one.
I
But
had-
not like a real crop. Like, it was just...
Yeah, them girls, like, they
I'm trying
whole
to think.
belly.
No,
was out.
actually, I probably did. Maybe that was only in college.
No, I was a tomboy. I wore cornrows and I played basketball. So I had every style that Allen Iverson had. I had every single cornrow style that Allen Iverson had in middle school.
Really?
I did.
My hair wasn't long enough for all that.
I'm sorry.
They didn't have feeding cornrows back then. They just
I-
had that. Remember the lump? It just was just...
Yeah. We've come a long way.
We've come a
And
long
that's
way.
another
But so I do
thing.
like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'll let you go. But I do like being in middle school to see, like, we do have dances sometimes, and it's so cute to see how excited.
They didn't dance. Okay, so
No, but just because high school they may not dance, and I don't know the little TikTok stuff they be doing. But middle school they actually look cute.
Because when I was in middle school, okay,
Okay.
we danced with each other. It's so funny. I was just talking about this with
I
some of my
thought they were
friends.
dancing with one
They
another.
were not. The kids had a dance last week.
Oh, I didn't go to that one.
They did not dance.
They didn't.
They ended up
Last year they did.
They didn't dance. They ended up playing football, and it was something else. Because I talked to another teacher that was
They
there,
didn't dance.
and they weren't dancing.
They danced last year, and
These
some of the
kids
girls
different.
we had a dance after school, so I thought it was so cute. This is what I do get a kick out of middle school. So I thought it was so cute that they brought their clothes so they could change. So they had a uniform on, and then that like by 4 o'clock they had their little dress. I'm like, oh, this is
But
so
we didn't
cute.
wear uniforms. But when I was in middle school, we
Oh,
used
we
to
danced.
dance. And y'all know, well, okay, this might be our age difference here.
I tell so.
But no,
Thanks.
it wasn't me. I was the fat friend. So nobody.
What? Don't say
No,
that.
no. Nobody was on my
Don't
line.
say that.
I was though. I was. But the glow up been real. Anyway. So when people would dance, like people would freak each other. Okay, and
We
used
would
to get-
try, and then
we
the
would
teachers
gather around and try to keep the admin and
Oh,
stuff.
the
from breaking them.
admins.
See, these kids, they don't do that. They do TikToks and want to throw footballs and basketballs.
Oh, well, the problem is, this is a whole nother topic. Probably we need to save for another day. They
Right.
don't know how to communicate.
That
Like
part.
they do not know how to. All the texting, like they don't. Courting is dead. They just don't know how to express verbally how they're feeling.
They don't. Without
It's
yelling.
just like, oh my God, without yelling, without
Without
hitting. And then when you call them on it, they try to justify it with yelling more.
Yes.
You just kind of just give up, like, okay, never mind.
These kids really be
Like, why would you put me in school suspension?
and they be
you
yelling
just-
at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 a.m. Why you yelling? Why you so loud?
I'm getting tired just thinking about it. I really am. Like, I'm sick and tired of me. I'm sick and tired.
It's exhausting. It is because. Like, why are you so... I literally, the other day, I was in the hallway, and I was like, oh, my God, why are they so loud? Like, they were just yelling.
And then trying to get through the hall, it's like, you ducking and dodging. Like,
And
like
nobody
it's just like,
me.
it's, yeah.
It's just... Yeah, I would say that can cause trauma, too.
You know, it does. It
It
does.
is.
Because it's just like, it just wears on you all day. And I'm not in the classroom anymore, but teachers, they still got like 5-6 lessons they got to get through. It's like 80-minute classes. And you still got to, okay.
And I think that...
Students will be able to.
I just feel like classes are too long in middle school.
I don't what?
80 something minutes is too long. It's
I think I may
traumatizing.
agree to
Because you,
that.
I will say,
Keeping their it's like a catch-22.
it depends on what we talk about. What I noticed with this generation, they like a lot of real world topics, and I think that keeps them interested more so.
But they don't want to write or read, so
That,
you got
yeah,
to
they
balance
don't
out
do
the
that.
real world to the basics. You have to know how to read.
But I also think we have to. What I've come to the conclusion is this is the COVID generation, and part of it, especially the middle, part of it with the middle.
Wait, hit the button.
It's awkward. That's not it. No,
No, I don't think that's it.
I don't know what else. It's
I don't know if I agree with the COVID generation. It's not a generation. We went through a period of time. Now we are trying to fix what they've been through, but they were like this before COVID. It got worse. COVID made it worse.
Well, I don't know because I was in high school.
I was in middle
Before
school
COVID.
pre-COVID.
So
I was in middle school
to me,
pre-COVID.
I think a lot of it is the COVID. Like I feel like, especially the 8th graders we have now, they were in what 6th or 7th grade. They were in 6th grade. So I feel like there's still that part. There's some socialization pieces that are missing.
It's gone.
Outside of the educational gap that's definitely been completely missed, which is something that's happened nationwide, as we can see. But I feel like the socialization piece definitely plays a major part. And then we have
Their attention span.
Right. But we had, think about it, during COVID, like they was on screen for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then that was it.
In the bed.
Like literally.
With
so
pajamas on.
virtual for us, because I worked at a non-public. We'll get to that conversation one day. We got to learn the difference. But
Was it a non-public school?
so a non-public is a school where students who are no longer allowed to attend their regular public school, usually based on their behavior
or
sometimes academically their disability, depending on the severity of it. If the public school can no longer
meet their
needs or address their needs,
or they need a more intensive specialized
smaller,
instruction,
something like that, then they're sent to
a lot of times they need more therapeutic instruction, or they may have a cognitive disability that prevents them from being able to access the curriculum. So we'll make a referral for a non-public. But there's different types of non-public.
Right.
But that's a whole nother topic.
But yeah, so I worked at a non-public.
Bang, 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 bang. I like your bangs.
Oh, doing that, like we
I just want my hair
had
like that.
30 minutes. She's so crazy. We had 45-minute classes. Okay, and that's how it was when we were in
Couldn't
school.
get nothing done in 45 minutes. Now
No,
think about
actually,
it.
we could though.
Yeah.
We could. First of all, shout out to myself because
No,
I'm a teacher that can grasp kids' attention.
Well,
And
me too.
When we were
Me
on,
too.
Okay, well she's an admin now, so.
But I was a teacher first.
Was a teacher first.
So I see the benefits of block
But she was
scheduling.
an admin during COVID though.
I sure was.
So that.
What is your point?
That makes a difference. But the point I'm trying to make is having a 30 minutes on screen and a 15 minutes off.
Oh yeah, we're talking about COVID. Yeah, that's like the whole.
But
it was almost impossible.
But my kids actually learned though, and it was to the point where we would sometimes go to whole 45.
Little thing.
Oh, you want me to clap for myself? Wrong one. That said slapping, not clapping.
Funny. That was actually funny.
So I'm just saying, like during that time, like we would actually go over if we had like a good topic, and the kids.
How many kids you have?
My biggest class was like 7. Yes.
So
Including their dedicated 8s.
Can I? So yeah, you should have did good. What you talking about? 7 kids.
And
So-
I still had to get observed during COVID, and I did great.
You had 7 kids.
Shout out to my
and a
kids.
dedicated 8. Talk about teachers who had 30 kids, 25 kids, trying to get all of them on camera and out the bed
Shout out to y'all.
on time, and still being observed by myself and other admins.
Shout out to y'all, but I worked at a totally
It was
different
tough.
school as
It
well.
was tough. When I say extending grace that was the period of time where you extended grace. We were trying to get through, and that's a whole. We're not gonna go into that because that's a whole nother topic.
It was a traumatic experience, though. I will say that as an educator, because I think for me it felt like I really wasn't getting through to the kids that I needed to get through to. So it was like, it was one of those like catch-22 things. Because you had some kids too. Like I had one student, she was terrible in school, but she did amazing.
We had some kids like that. Yeah, we had a lot of kids like that.
She was amazing,
which is crazy.
So, which goes to show you that, how the educational system in America should, make some changes. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. We can go on and on and on.
So I think
we were talking about teacher trauma, and then we just
I don't know how we got there, but this actually again shows our head. What's inside our head. This is a regular day.
This is literally us, y'all. This is when we are sitting down. We're in her office. We'll go in there to talk about one thing, and we'll talk about 15 other things.
So it's good to have a teacher bestie at school because it helps the day.
Yeah, and then circle back around. And then I'll be so mad when she don't come to school because then I'm like,
first of all, don't act like I don't be coming to work. I come to work.
She be late.
But let me just say this: I don't be late now. I rarely be late. I'm a stickler for time most times.
Most of the time.
So let me just be clear, and this is another topic. I have gotten to the point in my career that I'm okay with taking off. There was a period of time when I would never, when I say never take off work, like sometimes a lot of times it's frowned upon. Oh, you taking off? You have a doctor's note? Your child has to go to the dentist? Like it is still frowned upon. So I'm at a point now in my career, like I'm taking off. Self-care. I'm not going to miss a doctor's appointment. I'm not going to miss my son's soccer game. Like, so I'm okay now, and I take off with no shame. And I have no problem taking a week off for my birthday.
And that, that's so interesting because
my birthday's coming up.
We know.
March 14th.
Sheesh. But when you hear nowadays, everything is self-care, self-care, self-care. And they always talk about teachers having self-care. Okay.
But you better not. They say it, but they don't really.
You better not take off.
It sounds good, but y'all don't really want us to take off work.
It has been times where I'm like, I want to call out, but I'm like, nah, if I call out, then this going to happen. Or I'm going to get a text message about this too. Like, we really... Teachers go through like this guilt.
It's
like,
guilt,
it's just
no
like,
matter what. So I realized a long time ago that I'm replaceable. So if something was to happen to me, they would say, "Oh, Nitra loved the kids. Oh, she was amazing."
They gonna collect,
and then they're gonna say, well, that's my family. But the school won't. But so what they will say is, "All right, when we hiring for her position, like, do we have any candidates?" Like, life goes on. Like, life goes on.
I really, really learned that back my first year teaching, the school that I was at, my mother had got sick, and the way them ladies was acting, I'm in the ICU with my mama, and you asking me about some progress reports and all. Like, that's when I really was like, you know what? These people really don't care. So, if you don't feel like coming to work, you know what? Call off. You got to leave. Take that leave. Do what you need to do, because some people don't care at the end of the day.
And the crazy thing is, you earned the leave. It's yours to take. But when you take it, it's like, oh, you really taking off? Yeah, I sure am. Uh-huh.
Yes, I'm taking off on this good Tuesday.
So, yeah, that's teacher guilt, but I've gotten to a point where I'm okay with who I am and the work that I contribute every day. So I'm okay with taking it.
But you know what I noticed, and I think this is a generational thing? The older generation, they really think it's a flex to have like 130 hours of PTO. That is not a flex.
Hey.
Like, that's not a flex.
Get some hours. Get you some. Why is that not? I mean, because I'm not bragging about it. I just
because
have it.
That means you never take off. No.
And so that's a good point, because I have so many admin friends who've been in the system for a long time and got 300 hours of leave.
That's not a flex.
Like, that is terrible. Like, we just never take off, but we taking off now. We'll come to work dead sick to the like, what is wrong with me?
I have been to work to the point where the school nurse was like, "Go home." The
I
school
remember
nurse.
that time I came to work and I thought I had COVID, and I went to the nurse. I said, "Oh, I think I may have." She said she wouldn't even let me in her office, and I'm like, "That's terrible."
She didn't have COVID, but yeah, I don't know why she.
No, I did.
That's
I did. Cause my son had it, and then I ended up getting it. Well, testing positive like 4 days later.
It's been sickly around here.
I mean, what you gonna do? Then you got the other new thing, RSVP, and what is it?
It's
Same difference.
RSVP.
Well, speaking of RSVP, tune in next time. It has been lovely. We thank you for allowing us a platform to vent. Comment, like, share, subscribe. We'll be back. Teacherz Lounge podcast. We're gonna get that together with a Z.
It's all one word. It's literally spelled how it sounds, except the S is a
We
Z.
try to be fancy.
We are on Instagram
At
YouTube,
Teacherz Lounge podcast.
TikTok. We working on the Facebook, y'all. We getting that together. But yes, thank y'all for tuning in.
And comment or let us know what topics you would like to hear, or share your own stories as an educator.
Okay, and we will highlight y'all.
Clink, 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 clink.
See y'all later.